Welcome to pattern making class. I'm Annette Julie, and today we are working on our women's basic skirt draft. This is for our size 8, and please watch the prior videos to get caught back up. So we just drafted our dart legs in the last video, and I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it a little bit below the waist area and the hip so that I can turn it around and just work with the top for a little bit longer. This is upside down and we're looking at the front and the back. And we already decided in the last video where our side hip depth was 9 inches and our back hip depth at 9, but you could bring this up or down, for example, for your own personal fit. The same with this as well, and the same with the front. But I have taken these from a textbook information, and I adjusted this for the back. So we're also exactly 1 inch from both of the side seams for the front and the back, so that we can make a hip curve. So let's go ahead and fold our back dart tips across, and let's take our back darts and take the dart leg that's closest to the center back and crease it and bring it up on top of the next dart leg. Take some tape, make it magic so it's not going to go ahead and rip your pattern, and place it down in the waist area. Let's take your next dart. This is also creased at the bottom of the dart tip. Take the dart leg that's closest to the center back, crease it, and pull it up on the next dart leg. Take your tape, and you've made it magic by placing it on yourself. Make it nice and small. Put that above in the waist area. You can take your hip curve and you can draw and draft a new waist. But you're going to go from here across to our center back, and you can go here at the center back at the same hip level as the side seam, or you can go down if you have a scoot back, or if you're muscular you could go up 1/4 or 1/2 of an inch. Completely your choice. I think I want to go up 1/4 inch. That's more fun. Let's go up and blend. And that looks good. Let's confirm it. And just because I decided to go up, because like I said, it's many different choices, I'll extend that center back. Right? Because up here, this is our waist, and we're looking at it upside down right now. And this is the back. This is the waist, and this is our front. This is our side seam. But it's going to change in a minute when we draw our hip curves. Let's come to our front. Go ahead and crease at the bottom of your darts. And your dart legs can be a 1/2 inch longer. They can be 1 inch longer. They can be shorter. But I started with 3 in the front and 5 in the back. Let's go ahead and crease the dart closest to our center front. Here's our center front right here. And I'm going to crease it and lay it on top of the next dart leg. And we have folded the paper at the bottom of our dart tips. Get some tape and make it magic by putting it on yourself so it's not going to stick and rip your pattern. Get the next set of dart legs and crease the one that is closest to the center front. These are 1/2-inch darts. Place it on top of itself there. Grab some more magic tape. And we're ready now to draw our front waist. And I chose to go up in the center back just so I could make an example. And here in the center front, I believe this is nice for fitting, to go down 1/4 of an inch. And our line is going to go straight for a while. And then it's going to scoop up and connect to here. So we can do that in 2 different lines if we'd like to. So let's go here. And let's flip our ruler see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. Let's go ahead and firm that up. I think I'll make it a teeny bit less curvy over here. There's to our center front. Looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and connect our hips. Here's our waistlines that are corrected. Our back we went up, we're above the darts, we're coming back down to our side seam. And then here on the center front, side seam, scooping down a little bit lower than the line we had to the center front. So we're going to do the hips, but we have to confirm the top of the darts there. It's nice to have one of these boards to be able to take a tracing wheel and trace off what that line is. But if you don't have one, you could take it and just fold the line and fold the line. We want to see what the top of that waist looks like. Let's go ahead and pretend we don't have a tracing wheel for the back. We're just going to crease that top of that waistline over the dart pickup area. Here's our dart pickup. Here it is in here, and we want to be able to see where that is at the waist. Well, let's unfold it and see what it looks like, and then we can draw that hip. And if the tape feels like it's ripping, well then leave it on because it's the top area and we don't need that tape to be removed. We did it above the waistline. And we can see, yep, I can see the tracing wheel here, no problem. That worked out nice. This is also going to be where we're going to put a set of notches. Okay, let's see how the back turned out because we only folded it. Yeah, I actually can see that, no problem. Also, we would have a set of notches here. Can I see this crease line? Yes, I can. Is it easier to see with the tracing wheel? Yes, it's easier to see with the tracing wheel. There's those notches. Now we can go ahead and draw our hip, front and back. We're going from this point. Here's our side seam. And if you need a real narrow hip, you can take all the curve out of it like so. But if you want a curvier hip, we're going to adjust the ruler like this by allowing a curvy section to be drawn. So I think I'll draw from 5 down to 11, and I'm going to flip it and also draw from 5 down to 11 on the back. And that would be a bit more of a curvier hip. Let's just see and compare what a shallower hip would look like by cutting off like so. Okay, but start with something curvy. If you don't know, you can always take that away later. I'm happy with that hip, and I'm going to confirm it. Looks great. Our draft is pretty much complete, other than a few markings. You can go ahead and draw in some back off points, a 1/2 inch from the dart tips. These could be used for marking. You can also mark the tip of the dart. If you were going into production, you would use a drill hole here, and it would be drilled through a stack of fabric. So it's your choice to mark the dart tips or the back off point, or both of them. We have the notches up there for the waist. Then you could put this on a hard paper, cut and separate it into 2 pieces, because even though it's drafted the front and back together, they're actually 2 separate pieces. And here is our back, and this is our basic skirt draft, and this is a size 8. You can put your name, and you can put the date. Okay, that's the back. And you would cut along this hip curve and down the side seam. Okay, let's go ahead and make a notch at that hip level from front to back. Now here's our front, which you would cut away the hip and along the front waist there. Let's draw our grain line here for our front. 2 inches away from our center front. Arrows going both directions. And here is our front basic skirt draft. This is a size 8, and your name and the date. I usually put double notches at the center back down 7 and 7.5 inches, just in case we put a center back zip, but that shows you that that's the back. So we finished with our basic skirt draft. This is Annette Julie, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Au revoir.